Each year, the Carnegie Science Center honors scientists, engineers, and educators in our region who are blazing trails in innovation and motivating the next generation to do even more. Building tomorrow's workforce is the mission of the Math and Science Collaborative, this year's Carnegie Science Award winner for its leadership in STEM education. The judges noted that the collaborative has strengthened teaching and learning of math and science by applying research and collaboration from kindergarten through college. Nancy Bunt is Program Director of the Math and Science Collaborative, and Dr. Sofo is Superintendent of Freedom Area School District in Beaver County, Pennsylvania. Welcome. Good to have you both here. So, Nancy, for folks who don't know the Math and Science Collaborative, what is your role? There's so many folks playing in this STEM space in our region and everywhere across the country. What does the collaborative really bring to the table?
We really look at helping people work together to strengthen the teaching and learning of math and science. And we've done that by seeking grants from the federal government to support teacher learning, by placing in the intermediate unit system math and science expertise so it can be accessible to the 138 school districts in our region.
Okay, that's like 11 counties you're working in, right, with all those schools. And so there's this central resource that can then help to train the teachers better or teach the teachers? Exactly.
We provide a lot of professional development opportunities, professional learning for teachers. And we've really helped the region move from the idea of one-day wonders to extensive ongoing learning that is tied to what they're doing in the classroom. So we'll have a 10-day institute in the summer, for example, that is co-facilitated with higher ed faculty members, and then we'll follow it up during the school year with how we transfer that into the classroom, because if you don't follow up and engage in transfer, it's sort of like what happens in the summer stays in the summer.
Okay, well, which makes a lot of sense. Having this central resource make a big difference to the individual school district?
Absolutely, particularly smaller districts like Freedom that don't have a dedicated staff development arm or staff. It's really helped us particularly to be able to go deeper in math and science, especially in the K-8 area, where if you look at elementary teachers, few of them are specialists in math or science. So this has really been a great resource for us to make sure that our elementary teachers understand how to go deeper, understand the concepts, and can teach them to students so that math is no longer just remembering the times tables, but understanding what you're doing, so that when it comes time to solve real-world problems, you have anchors that you can use to make that transfer.
Well, you wonder how many kids in those early grades get turned off for one reason or another. They just conclude, I don't have the math gene, I just can't do this, and they basically have given up then for the rest of their academic career.
And one of our real issues is wanting to make sure that people perceive not the math gene the way you're describing, but math genes like the ones that we can pull on. Some of us may have to tug harder than others to get them on. But they're really important that everybody gets them on, because where in the past we could have just the select few sort of pyramid out, we filter them out as you go along and identify the few that were thought to have that math gene. We now know from research everybody has that math gene. We just need to teach them in different ways in order to enable them to do that. And making sure we do that is really important to the future, not just of those individuals, but of our region and of our country.
Well, you think about how these kinds of fields, science, technology, engineering, and math, I mean, they infuse everything nowadays. Banks hire software engineers, you know, manufacturers, clearly. I mean, these kinds of skills are used all through the economy. Right. And a lot of them, those careers based on those skills pay a heck of a lot better than ones who do not. But does it work? Do you have some sense in the time you've been doing it in the school district?
Yes, absolutely. We see youngsters very much engaged and interested in liking to do science and math. Wow. We've developed communities of practice with our teachers who now seek out summer and extended learning opportunities on their own as opposed to being pushed. It has convinced my school board to invest in what we call teacher coaches, and we have 3 math coaches now, one at the elementary, one at the middle, and one at the high school level, to keep that job embedded, consistent, regular reflection on practice and how we can do things better, and where we've learned that we're having some successes, how we can spread that and share that with the rest of the faculty. So it's made a big difference for us.
Well, really, so only about 30 seconds left, but it sounds like you can make this stuff fun and exciting, not just for the kids, but it sounds like for the teachers as well.
Exactly.
What's the secret?
Part of it is making it really relevant, letting people know why it's important that they learn this and that they can learn it. And we do that by making use of the best research-based materials that really engage teachers with the mathematics and the science and help them see how students can get it in different ways than the way they were taught. Wow. If there's anything harder than teaching differently than the way you were taught, that's part of the challenge.
Wow. Well, it's exciting. Congratulations again to the Math and Science Collaborative for this year's Carnegie Science Award. Nancy Bunt, Dr. Ron Sofo from Beaver County's Freedom School District. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
And next up, we'll be back in a minute with a little dollars and cents. Stay with us.